Backpacking TV is brought to you by MSR, precision engineering, legendary reliability, inspired by unruly dreamers. Visit us at msrgear.com.
One of the huge attractions to backpacking is traveling through and exploring remote wilderness areas, which relatively few people will ever get to experience. This also makes safety a real consideration, because when you're miles from help, it's not hard to find yourself in a serious situation. Planning ahead can minimize the impact of the situations that do arise, so in this episode, we're going to look at a few tips for keeping yourself safe in the backcountry. Most backcountry safety concerns have to do with unexpected weather, injury, or navigation errors. Let's take a look at weather. It goes without saying that you need to check the weather forecast before heading out and pack accordingly. But it's also important that you ask yourself if you're prepared for the worst weather possible. Keep in mind that most hypothermia cases do not actually happen in the winter. They happen in the summer when unexpected weather happens and people aren't prepared. And so even in the summer, in warm climates, bring at least one warm layer like a fleece. Ponchos can be a great safety piece of gear. Not only do they protect you from the rain, they can also be used in other situations such as using as a rain catcher, or a ground tarp, or making a shelter. Of course, injuries are a major concern when you're in the backcountry, and so there are a few things you can do to help prevent injuries in the first place. Keep in mind that having an overloaded pack can cause all sorts of injuries, so pack only what you need, not a lot of the luxuries that you would just like to have. Trekking poles can really help improve your balance and make the difference between staying upright and a nasty fall. They even come in handy in a variety of other ways, like making a splint in an emergency. An even simpler way to stay healthy on the trail is just to stay hydrated. Remember that with all the exercise you're getting, you're going to need to drink a lot more water than you normally do, and staying hydrated will keep you on top of your game. Just be sure to treat all the water that you're going to drink, no matter how clean and clear it looks. Of course, no matter how careful you are, accidents sometimes happen, so be prepared with a basic first aid kit. There are some great ready-to-go backpacking kits from Adventure Medical Kits. These kits have things like moleskins for blisters, slings, wound treatments, and basic painkillers like Tylenol or ibuprofen. There are also some great multi-use items to bring along. One of the best is a buff or a bandana. These can be used for a bunch of purposes, like being used as a washcloth, sun protection, or a sling in an emergency. Duct tape is another one of those things that I always like to bring, and an easy way to carry it is to wrap as much as you need around a water bottle or a lighter. I always like to bring about 20 feet of paracord with me too, because it can be used in a bunch of situations. Everything from guying out a tent in windy conditions to lowering your pack off a cliff. For navigation, GPSs are great, but it's never a good idea to rely on something that needs batteries. So bringing a map and compass with you is really important. For compasses, the ones with mirrors double as a signaling device that can be seen from the air by search and rescue. Cell phones are one of those awesome communication devices that you can really count on. You can count on them to not work. So you really need to bring a secondary communication device. A device like the DeLorme InReach satellite communicator lets you trigger an SOS and communicate back and forth with the search and rescue monitoring center, no matter where you are. Another cool thing about them is you can send messages, track your trip, and share your location through Facebook or Twitter. Ultimately, there's no such thing as a perfectly safe trip, but with a little planning and by making small investment in safety gear, you can be a whole lot more prepared to deal with the situations that do arise. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it helpful. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more backpacking tips and tricks.